Welcome to Technica's podcast. I'm Florissa Buencamino. I go by she, her pronouns, and I'm a civil engineering major.
And hello, I'm Helena Tesfaye. I also go by she, her pronouns, and I'm a computer science major here. And we are both a part of the brand team at Technica.
All right. I'm Mary. I'm a rising senior at University of Maryland. Go by she, her pronouns. And I've been on Technica for like 2 years, outreach, and then now co-exec.
Mhm. Nice.
I'm Erica. I'm a rising senior. I go by she, her pronouns, and I'm a physics and math major. I've also been on Technica for like 2 years now, and I started off in operations team.
But we haven't talked about what your main role is now for this season, right? You're our season's executive directors, right?
Yes.
And so
Oh.
I guess while we're talking to the leaders of Technica, we kind of want to, you mentioned your earlier positions in Technica. I guess we want to start at the beginning of that and dive into your journey as leaders. So, what was your guys' way, like, what was your first Technica experience? What was your first impressions? How did you get into Technica?
Erica, you ready or do you want me to start?
Let me sit on it for a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, yeah, my first impression of Technica was I remember like hanging out in like my dorm at like in my honors program and people started talking about like, oh, like are you going to Technica? And I was like, what's Technica? And they're like, oh, it's like a hackathon. Like you get to like code and work on projects. And at this point I was in engineering. So I was doing computer engineering, so still coding, but I was like, you know what? This seems kind of like software focused. I think I'll try it out. And so I really enjoyed the weekend and had a lot of fun with my friends. I was still a bit too nervous to try hacking, so I went to just the workshops since I was a beginner and learned a lot from those. So that was my first initial impression. And I just realized like how nice everyone was. Like I started just like talking to this organizer and she was giving me like advice on one of my introductory like computer science courses. And I was like, wait, everyone here is like amazing. So, and her advice helped me in my class. So I remembered that.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Uh, on my end, it was a little bit different because I was a physics major, and I think a lot of it, like maybe Technica isn't as advertised well in like other departments, or at least during that year, especially like coming out of COVID, it wasn't. Um, but my friend was really into quantum computing, or that's what she wanted to enter into, like as a physics math major, also. And so she had introduced me, or she had brought it up. I had seen posters of like Technica all around campus, and I was like, this looks really cool, and I feel like I want to join, but I don't know anyone else who's going. But when she said she was going, I was like, oh my God, yeah, let's like sign up together. I'm so excited. And I had a midterm the day after Technica, so I ended up going virtual, which was probably a good choice for my grade. But, I'm always sad I didn't have that in-person experience. But I did attend workshops virtually. And like similar thing with like the Discord and Slack, like everyone was so kind. And I think the environment was like so nurturing that I just like it was in the back of my mind, and I was like, I kind of want to be involved in this. Like at the very least, I'll attend the hackathon in person the following year. So yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I love how you guys have like your own little personal experiences with it. Seems so sweet. I'm sure all of us are kind of like wondering what made you guys like finally decide to become a part of like Technica's organizing committee. What was the deciding factor? Like what made outreach and operations like, you know, click for you guys?
I remember I applied to two teams, brand and outreach, because they stood out to me as like they're different from the work I was doing in school, which was all like technical. So I think and I also help out with I4C, IREAD's Initiative for Inclusion and Diversity in Computing. So I'd already done some outreach through that. So I was like, oh, I can just apply this for Technica. And I ended up joining the outreach team and I had a blast and so decided to stay.
Awesome.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
And Mary.
think for me, I believe I didn't have much experience, or like I wasn't sure which teams to apply to, because like the idea of a hackathon is still fairly new. Like Technica is my first hackathon.
Yeah.
And so I think I applied to a few different teams. So it was like operations, events. I think I did sponsorship, and maybe community. But I applied to a few different ones just because I didn't really know what a lot of them were about, and all of them seemed to help Technica in a non-technical way, which I was like, I don't really know how to code. I don't know if I'm like ready to jump that gun with some of the other teams, but that's what I had applied to. And then I had gotten like interviews for a few of them, and I remember operations was my first interview. And I don't know what it was, but I think I really connected with my future director at that time. Um, and meeting him and seeing his vibe, I was like, oh well, if Technica is like what this vibe is about, like 100% I want to be a part of it. So I was like fingers crossing that I would join that team, and thankfully they accepted me. But yeah.
Since you've had all those experiences with all the different organizing teams, if someone ever came up to you and like asked you what organizer group to join, what would be your answer?
I feel like this is a hard one. Like I'm not sure if like it would depend on the person. Like if I knew them better, I'd probably like know like are they more like good at like curating like ideas, so then I'd be like, okay, market it like brand or outreach, like you can help like get people to attend our hackathon, like. But also I don't know, it would depend on the person and like their interests. Like if they're like that like tech nerd and confident, I would be like tech like all the way, like you got it, go for it. But yeah, I would say it depends on the person. And then I know like experience is also like a lot of fun. You get to like either plan like and make sure that the hackers are having a really great time, like weekend of, or you get to plan and like make sure that the organizers are having a good experience. So I think that's also a really fun team.
Yeah, I think yeah, I feel like I'm in a similar boat, Mary. I think if you had asked me this question like a year ago or 2 years ago, I would have been like, Ops 100%, like my favorite team. And it's still high up there, of course, but I think as an exec, we now have like more experiences and have met some of the other directors a lot better, and they're all very well suited for their teams. And I feel like any of the teams are like really good, really cool, have great directors. So yeah, just it would be hard to say.
I love the idea of like all the directors being like very suited to what they got. That's really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. So speaking of directors, how would you guys describe the switch from being an organizer and being in these groups, and then now becoming a director?
Yeah. I feel bad I keep starting, Erica. You can start first if
Oh,
you
okay,
want.
okay. Yeah, sure. A hard question mark. I feel like I don't know. I think being an organizer versus a director is different in a few ways, but I think it's like different teams are also structured in different ways. So the way operations was structured was very much like you're all working on the logistics of the hackathon, but all the sub teams are very, I feel like, kind of separate. So for me, the hardest part was knowing pretty well what my sub team did, but then being in charge of other sub teams and being like, oh, like I don't know about this one. Like I don't know what the travel like timeline is, or like what like we have a lawyer. That was a jump scare. Like I didn't know
Wait,
that.
what?
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, techni
Unofficial
lawyer.
Oh yeah, I
lawyer.
heard
Unofficial,
about the lawyer.
unofficial. But yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, that's so cool. You heard it here first, guys.
Unofficial.
Unofficial. Yeah.
The unofficial lawyer
Not
of
on
Technica.
retainer.
Yeah, but she's very sweet. So yeah.
Awesome.
So I kind of have like the same thoughts as like trying to outreach also had a lot of sub teams. So coming from just like being like, oh, ambassadors program, I know how to do this. Like this is amazing. Like I love like organizing this program. And then I had to like learn how to secure speakers or like help my organizers like secure speakers. So that switch was pretty difficult. But honestly, the change I did like, and I feel like I go back and forth whether I liked like owning one thing and doing that versus like I also like helping like newer people to Technica like sort of feel more confident and like giving them like room for their ideas. So I liked that, like being able to meet with them and like encourage them, like because like I knew what it felt and stuff and like be like a resource and like kind of the same shift like with like co-exec but like an extra like layer. And now like having like the directors are the people I'm like, now I know what it's like to be a director and kind of doing the same thing. But the one thing I'll say is like the hardest shift from director to co-exec is just not like it takes a lot of effort to like interact with like as many organizers as you can. So like sometimes it can feel like a little bit like disconnected, which I think being in person it was a lot better. And then this summer's been a little bit tough.
Okay.
So how did you guys decide to, I guess, run for executive director then?
So it's actually like it's not like a running process. Like it works a bit different at the exec level where the former execs like since they've been like doing it the longest, they sort of like think of people who like would have the time to commit. Like they start to think about like who would be able to commit the most time to Technica, who's like well suited, who would pair well together. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. But then they ask and like would you consider it? Like take time to think about it. And so they gave us a good amount of time to like sit on it because it is a big decision. It's like a year-long commitment and yeah, there's a lot to manage and handle. But so it did take me like a week to decide, but eventually it was like I really care about the mission. Like one, it's one of my biggest commitments, like outside of like I foresee. There's not too much else I'm participating in. So I was like, okay, I'm able to commit time because I also didn't want to make the decision on a whim and then not have the time to commit. So overall I'm happy with my decision. I'm having like a good amount of time. It is still a big time commitment, but I'm glad I did it and I'm doing it.
Awesome.
What about you, Erica?
I guess for me, it's like, yeah, I think we had like similar timelines of like decisions. We made the decision on the same day, like in a meeting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was very similar. I think my trajectory is more research based. So for me, it's a lot of like going back and forth of like, oh, I don't know if I should be like diluting my time, if that makes sense. Whereas like I feel like the research field is very competitive and a lot of people are like throwing in their passion into it. And like if you're not putting in as much time, as much effort, I don't think that makes you a bad researcher, but sometimes it's easy to get in your head of like, oh, I'm not doing as much as I could have.
I see.
Yeah, but I think, Technica meant a lot to me. I think it was like definitely my biggest, like the biggest part of my college experience, where I made the most friends and like I've always cared about the mission and just like bringing more accessibility to like other people, especially in like STEM or like technology. So when like all those factors are coming in, I was like, well, like I really do love what I've done in the past, and I think another year would be amazing. So let's just have faith and then go for it.
We got
And
it, yes.
I feel like I'm like I was about to say full send. I'm like that is like 2 years old or something. Like I'm fully becoming like out of touch with like now that I'm like getting older and oh my god, I'm gonna leave college soon. That's also I'm happy to
Yeah.
get like this last experience. Like I'm graduating in the winter, so I'm happy that I get to see like
Gosh.
through. So it's gonna be sad. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have like a month after like the hackathon
Yeah.
weekend and then
Oh
No,
my God.
no, you're graduating. You should be happy.
I know it's exciting, but it's also sad.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So did you guys like when you guys first met, was it like before Technica or like post Technica?
Post Technica. So we met
Okay.
like on Technica. Like I'm not sure we even it is a large org, like
Yeah.
forget, like it's like I think it was like maybe 100 organizers the year we did it too, something around that. So we never really interacted much like as organizers.
Yeah, even as directors, I
Right.
feel like it was very limited. Uh,
Hmm.
the directing group last year, similar to this year, was like 18 people. And so, of course, you know everyone by face, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're like talking to them actively. So Mary and I definitely met like during the like, oh, congratulations, we want to offer you the position. And we are like, nice to meet you.
We knew each other, but it was like
Sure, sure.
the way I would describe it is like, you know, like big friend groups where like you know like everyone, like you know them, but you don't like know them. So that was
Yeah.
also like went into the decision too, is like we didn't know how we really would work together in a co-relationship, especially because outreach director, there's only one director. Operations, there's two. So like you kind of know like how you work in a co. And I hadn't done a leadership position with like a co, so I was honestly pretty nervous. I hope I'm doing okay.
You're
I hope
doing good. You're doing great. Don't worry
so.
about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So how would you guys like describe your dynamic then versus like your dynamic now? Because I know there was definitely a big jump.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
it took a lot of like ramping up, and honestly it was like we had to get to like know each other, and like kind of like it was almost like, you know, like when you do like coffee chats with people like you don't
Yeah.
like know too well. We kind of did like that and like hung out to get to know each other, but we honestly jumped into the work pretty quick too because there's not too much time. But
Yeah.
honestly, there's a lot of like bonding through like doing work or like hitting like obstacles and like working through them together. It's kind of like we've been through it together. So
Yeah. I would say that's the best way to describe it. Of like you've been through so much with someone that you just naturally get to know them and you're like, we're in it together.
Point.
and
Yeah.
and then like I feel like we end some like if we have an important like meeting or like discussion, and then we just like we need to come down off like the meeting and like the stress or anything. So then we just like we'll just yap. We'll just
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
like the
yes.
other day we had like a pretty important meeting and we were both pretty like stressed about it before, and then we just like ended up going on like a side note for like a while.
It's awesome.
Okay, so with the next question, we're kind of gonna conglomerate everything that we've talked about so far into how have you seen Technica evolve over the years, and what are your future goals as the executive directors for the season? What are your goals for Technica?
I'm trying to remember like both the question. So
We can repeat it anytime.
yeah, okay, thank you. I think for evolving, I would say it's definitely changed and like the venues changed, and I think that's kind of changed like the vibe in the past few
Yeah,
years. So
we're in the armory now.
honestly, like I had my first Technica experience in the armory and it was a lot of fun. Like it felt very like hackathon, like exactly what you'd expect from a hackathon. And I think switching to the hotel, like yes, there were perks, but it also felt more like a conference instead of like this is a hackathon. We're like pulling all-nighters and like working with a group and you can like see everyone in the room at the same time. So I'm actually excited. I think it's evolving in a good way to be like closer to the different like departments and closer connection to UMD. Well, of course, like inviting as many people as we can from outside of UMD, but it's really nice to like actually be back on campus and like, yeah, return to Technica's roots. I think it's always been at the Armory except for the past few years. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think I fully agree. I think organizing at the hotel was like Mary said, it had its perks and it did feel more conference, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but for our 10-year anniversary, it is nice to go back to your roots and
yeah.
to really go back to where it all started and where a lot of our past alumni and even like current organizers have a lot of memories of. Um, but other than that, like evolving wise, I hope we've evolved in like more diverse ways and like done more outreach in those respects. I hope we've kept more people in mind as like, you know, as time changes and we all grow as people and individuals. But I don't know. Yeah, that's my hope. Well, I guess that's my hope and also what I've seen as evolving, but we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed. I'm really hoping.
Yeah, I feel like as execs, we're always thinking about like how much more it could improve. It's honestly hard to be like,
Yeah.
what have we done well? But yeah, I think we've done a good job, especially like this year. One of our goals is like trying to take a more intersectional approach and thinking, like, of course, we're always going to be an underrepresented genders hackathon, but like thinking about other groups that we can like lift up as well in the process, and thinking about that, especially when we're thinking of things like travel and trying to make sure there's still like stipends and bus routes and things like that, making sure people find out about us. Yeah.
Awesome. So I know you guys talked a lot about like how, you know, it's difficult for you guys to see the good because you guys are like, we can do so much more and everything, right? But if you guys could just like take a moment and, you know, reflect on like what you love the most about Technica, like what Technica really offers you, like what do you feel like you guys learned from Technica aside from like, you know, the hacking and everything like that, but Technica as a whole, what do you feel like you've learned?
Like the first like word, like I feel like a lot of people say this, but I think community, just like having like a large group of people, whether that is like the hackathon, like and the hacker community, and then alumni community, organizer community, and like when they all come together, like at the actual event, I think that's really like beautiful to see. So I think community, and then also I always see it as just like a space. This is like more of weekend of, but just like a space where like when I was actually hacking, it was a space to like experiment, and like there's no judgment. Like you're all there, like trying to learn, and everyone there, you know, like knows the mission of Technica and is there for like similar reasons. And I think that carries over to the organizers as well. Like you're doing the work to give that experience to like maybe a younger you. And so, yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, truly I was gonna use the same exact word of community. I think, you know, I think, oh, I keep saying I think, but basically, uh I don't think I had much of a experience with like a community, especially in things I was interested in growing up. And so finding Technica in college was amazing. And it was like I could be myself. And it was definitely a place where I learned to grow as an individual. And I learned that from a lot of our organizers over the years, from their like different attitudes, their different personalities. And yeah, I like whenever I think of Technica, I definitely think of the community that it has built and that I have built because of it. Um, it's been good. Yeah, good years so far. More to come.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
I'm gonna
I
add
like how
one more
you
thing. This is kind of goes along with community, but also like the mentorship. I think it's really cool to see like the mentorship like carry over, like how somebody can go from like a hacker, and then if they attend UMD, they can become an organizer, and then if they like choose to or want to, they can consider becoming a director, and then so on. And like all this like relates to like each year, like handing over the rope and making sure that somebody else like carries it on and keeps it alive. And I think that's really cool that it's lasted like this is our 10th anniversary. So it's been going for like 10 years strong. So I think that's really cool too.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely can think back of like the first execs we had experience with when we were organizers. And I can definitely think of like what an inspiration I remember seeing them as and being like, oh my God, they're so cool. I want to be like them when I grow up. Uh,
Now we're grown up.
well, yeah, a little did we know. But yeah, it's just so crazy to see how it's changed over the years and how, you know, people will take up different leadership positions for Technica. Very cool.
so we asked you about like what you were doing over the summer, and we've asked you like what Technica means to you. And now we want to like kind of reach this topic of like, as an underclassman in STEM, what advice would you give to incoming STEM majors, maybe young students perhaps undecided, or to people who aren't necessarily computer science majors? Because I know you, Erica, you're a physics major.
Yeah.
I'm a civil engineering major, but somehow we still find uses for like just experimenting, right? So
Yeah.
what do you have to say?
Yeah, for underclassmen. Well, okay, this I don't know if this is like very unique to me. It might not be. I feel like a lot of STEM students in general have this mindset, but a lot of us are always like running towards our goal, like almost tunnel vision and being like, yes, I need to reach this. I should be doing X, Y, Z to accomplish these goals. I want to be prepared, like I want to graduate early or just like have such a goal in mind, which is great and amazing, but sometimes it's like so easy to lose track of other things. And I think that would be my biggest advice. I think if I hadn't joined Technica, I would have been very tunnel vision and been like research, research, research. And I don't think I would have found a community. I don't think I would have found friends. Um, so maybe take a step back, enjoy the moments you have. You know, we only get to be on this earth like once, and it's okay to slow down and enjoy the ride. I promise the future awaits and it'll be good. But yeah.
Yeah, I think my biggest advice, I guess it depends on like incoming STEM majors or like anyone intending or thinking about STEM. I think trying it out, but then also like I know a lot of people like they think of STEM as like they think like maybe they have pressures to like go into STEM. I had kind of like the opposite experience. I mainly took humanities courses in high school, and I was like, wait, this calculus stuff is like, why am I good at it? Like, it's kind of cool, as nerdy as that was. So, I tried out like engineering and computer science. I think trying out and not being afraid to switch majors. Started in computer engineering, switched to CS, and added a math major. Took like a lot of math classes, said no more math. And decided to like I took like women's studies courses I really loved. So I decided to do women, gender, and sexuality studies like minor, and I love that. It's like been the perfect balance. So I think don't stress yourself out as a STEM major. Like make sure you're like learning other things. Like pick like a fun like minor or double major. Like it's really cool, especially to meet people like in different like majors and departments.
You touched up on balance, but everything that you said was so frightening. What? Okay, like I have to ask because I need to know. Okay. But like when you guys decided to go into Technica and everything, like how did y'all balance it? Because Erica, you said you're doing research, and then Mary, I know you're like lightly talking about, switching majors and having like experiences, but I know you were stressed, girl. I know. So how do we find this balance, guys?
I don't know how Erica does it. Personally, research. So maybe you could start with however you handle that.
Oh, balance. That's a really important topic, and I fully agree with that. Um, yeah. I don't have much advice for that. Like, I think a
Just
lot
work
of
it
it
out.
has been my
Still figuring it out.
mindset. Yeah, yeah, I'm figuring it out. But the mindset has definitely been like, well, I only get to experience college once.
Mhm.
Um, but also keeping in mind like, oh, I shouldn't overcommit because that's like that affects other people too.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I feel like friends have kept me grounded.
Mhm.
Uh, Whenever they're like, "Oh, I haven't seen you for a few days. Are you all right?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm in the thick of it. I need to maybe like not say yes to to the next few things that come up. And just take some time for myself and for my studies and to hang out with my friends and stuff. But other than that, use Google Calendar, use your planner.
GCal.
Yeah, cheeky.
Notion calendar is how I survive,
Oh yeah.
and Notion in general. That's yeah.
I'm trying to get into Notion. I still haven't gotten the gist of it.
It's tough to start, and honestly, I use it mainly for the calendar because like they do like cute little like pop-up reminders. This is like
Yeah,
a
they're
side
cute.
now on Notion. This is
You
not
can
sponsored.
download it now.
But it could be sponsored if they believe in that.
We're always open to sponsors.
Yeah, always open.
But I would say for balance, like I'm lucky enough that like since I'm doing like software engineering, it is like 9 to 5, like structured. So I really like that, like structuring my time and then like picking certain days of the week, like for certain commitments, because I'm involved with like Technica, which takes up like that's my biggest commitment. And then I also still love helping with like I4C. So I like pick days of the week. Like Monday and Tuesdays are Technica time for me. And then of course like I'll pop up and like do things other days of the week, of course. But those are like my main days for like meeting with directors and all of that. And then I reserve like different nights. I try to reserve different nights for like going to the gym, like hanging out with friends. Yeah, puzzle time, very important. I just had a puzzle session with my roommate here at my internship.
Wait, what is a puzzle session?
We just sit and like we just like talk about our lives and do a puzzle. It's really fun.
Okay.
That's cute.
So
Love puzzles. I think we will go to the fun questions now. Are you guys
yeah.
excited for the fun questions?
I'm excited. I love fun. So
All right. Here's a tough one. Who has the higher screen time?
honestly,
Receipts, guys, pull them out.
okay. I feel like if you had asked me during the semester, it would be pretty high. I'm gonna be honest. Like when I had like no internship, it would be high. But let's check it out. Screen time. I'm a CS major who can't figure out Apple settings. So.
Oh, thank God, because I cannot figure out how to use my Android.
Okay. Receipts.
I'm trying to
4
find
hours
it.
and
Android.
38 minutes.
Whoa.
Actually not bad.
Okay. Is that an average of a
That's
week?
pretty good.
Yeah, like since Sunday.
Okay. Wait, that's actually
Wait,
really good.
that's actually that's really good. What?
Yeah.
Hey, look at me.
Oh,
I haven't touched TikTok in 2 weeks, that's why.
I don't know.
you're
I think
strong.
I think this might just be daily, but maybe that's just how Androids work. Let me get rid of the blur.
There's a weekly one.
So
Yeah.
random.
Oh my God, wait, we have the same phone.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Nice. Is it that?
Or daily. We can compare today. Who is
Yeah,
up
we
to
can just
most
compare
today?
daily.
Should we do
No
daily?
stress.
Okay. My daily is
Yes.
2 hours 39. I
Okay.
got lost today, so I used like the NIH map. I'm trying to find it.
Mine's 2 hours, 17 minutes today.
Oh, we're eating this
Okay.
up, Mary.
Okay.
Wait, what's
You
your
guys have
most?
healthy screen times, Loki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's not talk about ours.
Wait, no, let's
Yeah, pull up the receipts, yeah.
let's
Guys,
see.
no, guys, this is an interview for you guys. No
Fine,
tea.
fine.
Let's just know it's like a multiple. It's like a whole number multiple of what yours.
Yeah.
I guess that also answers how we manage our time.
Oh,
Don't go on
Oh,
TikTok.
I'll take note. I'll take note.
that's crazy.
Write that down. Write that down.
Mhm. I got you. I got you. Okay. So now that we got that done, I want to know, I don't know if you guys have probably seen this, but like there's like this like post where they have like their little miss and then they like write what they do. What do you guys think that your little miss is?
Okay, I'm gonna pick a fun one and then like I feel like my flaw, like something that's like good about me and then like my flaw. So I would say Little Miss like yellow. Like yellow's my favorite color. I always have like yellow on me at all times. Cause like I feel like it just makes me like happy. Like my phone's yellow. I would grab my backpack, but it's over there. It's like bright yellow. I'm borrowing my dad's yellow car, so
Awesome.
but then the more like I like Little Miss impatient sometimes if I'm being honest. Like dealing with the metro and people like walking slow when I'm trying to get to work. I feel like I've recently been a little bit impatient trying to get to it from work.
I feel that. That's valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, good one, Little Miss obsessed with her pets, perhaps. I don't know. They're so cute and they're so comforting, and I just like to like pet them.
What pets do you have?
I have 2 cats and a dog,
Oh my
and they're very
gosh.
cute. Yeah. Love them. It's nice to be back.
I miss my pets.
I bet they missed you.
Yeah. For the
You gotta
negative
share that.
one. Oh, sorry, what?
I said you gotta share a bad one. I can't be the
Yeah, no. Trust. Oh, I'm cooking. Trust. Um, Little Miss overcommits because I think I like very easily say yes to things where people would be like, can you help me with this? Like, it's not important, but like, if you could, I'll be like, oh yeah, totally. And then now that I'm away from my roommate, she can't keep me in check. But during the semester, she'd be like, Erica, I have not had dinner with you in like 3 nights. I have not seen you, and we live next to each other. Like, our rooms are like adjacent. Like, you need to stop. I'm like, oh, you're right, you're right. Yeah,
You
I
can
love the roommate keeping you in check.
yeah.
Shout out roommates. I don't know if you guys like have one cooked up or not. I know I certainly wouldn't, but what would you say is your hottest take? Like on anything? Any sort of controversy, any sort of silly little opinion that you have that maybe not a lot of people share?
I'm an Apple Music user. It's hard to admit this, but I feel like I honestly love the UI, and yeah, that's I feel like a hot take.
Yeah, you know
The
what?
hot take.
I'll one up you, Mary. I like YouTube for listening to music.
YouTube?
You
Do you have at least the premium version without
Like-
ads?
like
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
Music or YouTube?
No, just YouTube.
Oh wait, that's
Okay,
crazy.
just YouTube.
Like, okay,
What do you mean?
Wait, so do you like watch the music videos with the music?
no, I'll just put it on the back. But okay, in my defense, YouTube, okay, again, not sponsored, but we could be. We could be. I would die on that hill. But like YouTube does good like generation of like the similar genres. So like the songs will match in genre and then the genre will change and it'll make its own playlists based off of what you've listened to. And so, I really like that vibe and I don't have to think about it. Like it's just in the background, I do my little clicky clicky and it's great. No issues, but like yeah, like that's a hot take, I know, like no one else really uses it, but like I enjoy it.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
unique, there's nothing
It's
wrong.
fair, it's fair.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Mary,
I
you should
can't hate
defend your
since I'm an
Apple
Apple Music
Music.
user,
Yeah.
so.
Apple and YouTube internships pending, guys. They're waiting for you. No, but please, Erica, please, I beg you, check out YouTube Music. I swear it's the exact same thing. It's just prettier. And you
You know
can,
what? You're right.
create your little thing. I personally use YouTube Music and I have like the ad-free version.
Okay.
Okay, but
Ooh.
YouTube is kind of crazy.
Yeah, like we move on. Mary, you should talk about Apple Music.
What? No, I don't use
Gotta
Apple.
get the fire
Did I
off
say
him.
that? No.
I'm actually surprised that there's more YouTube than Spotify here.
Yeah.
What do you use for, so?
I use Spotify. I like decorating the albums and naming them funny things.
You
So
can
Okay.
in Apple Okay, what?
You can also do it on
I'm
YouTube
an
Music, but
Android user. I'm an Android user. I don't have any Apple products.
Oh, I have one more hot take if we have time.
Oh, well, we do. Trust.
Yeah, of course.
I think my hottest take that I've been getting a lot of heat for at work is I'm one of those tennis people who thinks that pickleball is like I have beef with pickleball because they take the tennis courts,
Uh-huh.
and I have so many people trying to convince me to play pickleball, and I hate to say I might cave, but like my hot take is that tennis is just better. But I don't know if that's a hot. I feel like I don't know if that's a hot take. Maybe that's a popular take, but pickleball people don't like me sometimes.
Okay, okay.
But I feel like that's a fair take.
Yeah.
I've never played pickleball, but I agree. Tennis is better. Tennis is better. It's just, I don't know, bigger rackets, more aesthetic, more history.
Or history.
I think for a conclusion, we should probably also add some hot takes. Do you have one that you want to say for us?
Well, you should go first. You should go. I don't have a hot take right now. Oh wait, no, I do.
Okay, perfect.
I have an Android, right? So like I am severely like angry at like the fact that when you make a group chat
Yeah.
between like iPhone and Android, like once you've made it, you can't do anything with it. You can't add anybody to it. And so it's like it's really hard for our group chats to grow. It's like, oh no, we have all this search history. You can't add you to the group chat. It's like, guys, it's so simple. Like how could these really two how can technology be at this point that group chats can't be added to if they're between Android and iPhone? I don't even think that's a hot take. I think that's just a thing that exists. Oh my
No, I
God.
fully agree. I'm glad
I
someone said
agree.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
wish I could find the doc right now that had our list of historical sponsors to double check the Apple wasn't on there, because that's definitely purposeful. But
Yeah, it's purposeful, and like I feel like they also make it so expensive for people who like break their phones, or like just anyone who needs like basic things to be changed. They're like, oh, well, we use like different screws for our different, like for all the
Yeah.
different parts, and it's just like,
that's not even a hot
oh,
take. You know what?
why? Yeah, that's
I'm
the
with
right
you.
This is a
take.
venting
It's
session,
so
guys.
hard to make
Yeah.
group chats. And then what? You use Instagram chats or GroupMe?
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh,
actually hate GroupMe. I'm sorry. I can't with
GroupMe is
GroupMe.
so
GroupMe feels so freshman.
actually no, it's actually useful for temporary group chats. GroupMe is good
Yes.
for temporary group chats, I
But
will
long
say.
term, I don't need to get that notification from a group chat made 2 years ago, please. I am actually so tired. But yeah, that's a good hot take. I think one hot take for me that kind of came to me is I will forever die on the hill that using like Google Drive functions, like Google Drive, Docs, Excel, is better than using like the Microsoft ones that you have to download on the computer. I know you look, Mary's already looking at me like I'm crazy, okay? But there's just been too many
Love
cases
Microsoft.
where people are like, oh, I can't download it on my computer, or like they're using the online version and then they like something happens and something gets lost. My thing is Drive, it's always gonna be there. Like it's never gonna get lost. That's my thing. And this is something that like I fought on with my I had like an internship like last year, and my like second mentor, he's a grad student, right? At UND, right? And I'm literally, I kid you not, first day I was there, he was like, okay, let's open Excel to get the like document, whatever. And I literally I opened up like I opened up Google Excel, right? And I was typing, and he was like, what are you doing? Takes the mouse from me and opens like the Microsoft Excel downloaded on the computer, and I will forever be in awe of that moment because I was like, wow, the difference
So
here is so
aggressive.
great.
You know
Yeah.
what? I agree with you, but Microsoft, if you're watching this, please sponsor.
Please
We
sponsor us,
love my
Microsoft. We
Office
love you.
365.
We love Microsoft.
We
We love
love you
people
so
too.
much. Like, I have a Surface Pro in my backpack. Don't even like.
But I'm also a Google, like I Google Docs. Like at work, I'm glad it's like Google Suite.
Yeah.
No hate, Microsoft. You do some things amazing. I love OneNote, but
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
not-
Oh,
OneNote. I
OneNote.
love OneNote. Bro, taking notes in class is so easy. I love me OneNote. But
I
yeah.
feel, yeah, I think maybe I'm like from the older older generation, but because I was introduced to like Microsoft so early on, for me, I'm like, there's no better yeah, Microsoft, just like the Word document. I'm just like, oh, so pristine. Sometimes I get mad at it, but not more mad than Google Docs.
I can agree with Word. Okay, Word I can see, but like Excel and everything else, just shift to Google, please.
No, Excel, I will die on the hill. Like making those graphs in Sheets. God, I don't know what it. Oh, I don't know what their default settings
I feel like
are.
this is like the defaults versus like general use.
Yeah, for general users, I feel like probably Google makes
Yeah.
sense. I just
You know,
I've
let's
had
not
so many bad
we love
experiences with graphs.
we love both. We love
We
both
do
so
love both.
much. Okay.
Yes.
I gotta stop
And
making
Google,
sponsorship jokes, but
you should sponsor us too. Like everyone should just sponsor us.
yes.
Like, listen,
Technica.
YouTube,
Live, love,
Spotify,
laugh,
like
Technica.
we all love you. We're like your
Yes.
#1 top fans. Come on.
Top 0.0001 listener.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. But for YouTube, not even YouTube Music, YouTube.
So this has been a really fun conversation with you guys. It's really fun to get to know you guys as the executive directors and as people as well. Those hot takes were amazing, very fun. But we are on a Technica podcast, so to end it, we will swing it back. I'm gonna take it back around, the corporate lingo. Back to Technica. So we're leaving our Techna podcast listeners with what's one thing that you would want people to look forward to this season, and especially with our 10-year anniversary.
Honestly, I was gonna say the 10-year anniversary. I feel like that's something to really look forward to. I feel like we're trying to incorporate like alumni into it more, like getting them more involved, and then also like it's kind of a celebration aspect, so there'll be certain elements of that. So I'm really excited for that. That's more of like a fun, easygoing look forward to. But of course, the mission always.
Yeah. I'd also say, same thing as you, but if we want like a different thing, probably community. The community's always been there. It will hopefully always be there. So I'd say look forward to it being increased, our community. We're definitely reaching out to um like workshop holders besides just pure CS. We're hoping to incorporate like a few different departments and intersections between CS and other sciences. Yeah, I'm very excited about that aspect of it. And again, to bring back the alumni. Oh, I'm so excited to see, hopefully, some of the past organizers. But yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you guys for coming. We really love talking to you guys, and we hope to see you guys once, the semester starts and we're all back in person. And I'm sure everyone who's listening is looking forward to seeing you guys in person during our hackathon.
Please come on
Here's-
out to our hackathon. Yes.
Yes.
Please, please,
Technica's
please.
always fun.
Come to Technica 10-year anniversary. Wonder awaits.